what is going on with Jon Jones in Thailand? Because every time I hear Jon Jones on the news, it's for all the wrong reasons. He's there for sniffing men's hair, saying that he's about to retire, and not for the right reason, which is fighting Tom Aspinall. And I'm getting sick of it at this point, which is why I'm going to cover this. Uh, I believe a few hours ago, there was a clip of Jon Jones talking to Kamil Gadziev on FaceTime, and he basically confirmed that he will no longer be fighting in the UFC.
Like that, my man. I'm excited to see you again. You know, but you're still active. 10 years left, but you're still active. He said you got 10 years left, but you're still active. Oh, yeah, no, I'm done. He got a little great. He's like, I'm looking forward to seeing you again, Camille. You look great. Yeah.
This dude is avoiding Tom Aspinall so badly. I don't understand it. I don't understand how Jon Jones fans can sit there and still claim that Jon Jones isn't scared of Tom Aspinall at this point. Because Jones himself has intentionally stated that he will not be fighting. He will not be fighting Tom Aspinall. You've never seen Jones say this about any other opponent. You know, he was a few months ago. He was talking about challenging Pereira. When there were talks about Pereira potentially moving up to heavyweight. He was talking about fighting Derek Lewis, Jamal Hill. Like, I'm sorry, like I get that Jamal Hill's a former champion and Derek Lewis is a name. Yeah, nobody gives a shit about those fights. We know that Jon Jones will win. We need to see Jon Jones fight Aspinall because Aspinall's the first time the first opponent Jon Jones will have to face where Jones isn't this dominant figure in the cage. But yeah, he basically confirmed that he is not going to be fighting, and that's unfortunate because we won't get to see the fight with Aspinall. That's what it means. But that's not the only reason why we need to talk about Jon Jones in Thailand. I'm sure you guys have seen this clip. I'm a little bit late to reporting this, but if you guys haven't, you know, it's some very sus moments from Jon Jones. I'll just say that.
Залик уже взял свою команду Джонса.
Все, он в моей команде. My team has global.
What are you doing with this poor man's hair, bro? Are you sniffing it? Like, brother. Like, I know there's like memes about Jon Jones being gay, but at this point, those aren't memes. Why are you grabbing this man's hair and giving a good old whiff of it?
Залик
Brother, what is. I'd be scared for that dude's life. I'm just gonna be for real. Like, we know how Jon Jones gets sometimes, and I don't think this guy knows what he's getting himself into. I think he's like a I don't know. I think he's involved in the Russian Tough promotion that's going on in Thailand. I don't really know this dude's name, but I'm pretty sure he's involved in there. But my point being, I don't think the dude knows what Jon Jones has intended for him, and this dude better watch his step right here. And if he sees this video, I think it's gonna be a little bit problematic. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna move on to Jon Jones. A lot of people on his IG have been basically calling him a duck and telling him to fight Tom Aspinall. And this is what Jon Jones has to say about fighting Tom Aspinall and ducking.
I got people in the chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm living my absolute best life. I don't know if it's considered ducking when you're living good.
All right, first off, living your best life. Are you 20? You just graduated out of college, uh, officially starting your unemployment era like myself? I don't think so. You're 37 years old. You have a wife and three kids talking about living your best life. Seriously? I don't know what kind of example that sets up for his daughters. But then again, he did beat his wife up in front of his daughters. So there's also that. But second off, I don't know how that works exactly. Like you're not a duck because you're living your best life in Thailand, sniffing other grown men's hair and getting a little bit freaky with it there. I don't think it work. I do think it works like that. If that's your reasoning for not fighting Tom Aspinall, I do think it works like that. But yeah, I this is kind of a ridiculous statement from Jon Jones at this point, and we're gonna move on to the next section over here. So Jon Jones, he's been responding to a lot of people on Twitter as well. So like this user commented, enjoying your last days as champ before being stripped, I see, John. Stripped? Lol. Do I come across as a type of person who cares about things like that? I know you care about a certain type of stripped, right? It doesn't have to do with the UFC belt. I know you want to be stripped by that Russian man you were sniffing the fuck out of. But anyways, you know what? I do think you care about it because first off, this user over here has been saying it here. Yes, otherwise you would have vacated a long time ago because you don't plan to fight Tom. And this is what Jon Jones had to say. Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I told the UFC my plans a long time ago. I have no clue why they haven't shared them with you guys yet. Well, John, here's the crazy thing, you know. I think the UFC has made their plans clear, which is to make you fight Tom Aspinall. But for some reason, there always seems to be some convoluted reason as to why you cannot make the fight. So, if anything, it's been you who has not been transparent, you know? You claim that you're not ducking, yet you're simultaneously ducking, and you're not really giving up the belt for Tom Aspinall to fight for because let's be honest, there's no other fight for Aspinall to take at this point. And Jon Jones, you're like always alluding to the idea of retirement, but at the same time cementing your legacy as the greatest of all time. It is very weird. It is a very weird thing for Jon Jones to be bringing up, considering he has not been transparent to any of his fans. Like, I don't think his closest fans even know what's going on with Jon Jones right now. And it's just weird because it's not the UFC's fault that this fight isn't being made at this point. Like I know Dana White, he's out here sucking on Jon Jones's virtual cock, but Dana White, I think he still believes this fight's gonna come through, but it's clear that this fight will only come through if Jon Jones actually says something definitive instead of coming out here in fucking Thailand just getting a little bit freaky with it with other dudes. But last but not least, I think this statement from Daniel Cormier perfectly sums up what we feel about the situation between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. So Daniel Cormier in his weekly podcast, I believe, or I don't know, YouTube channel. I don't know exactly to be honest, but he responded to a Jon Jones comment talking about how Jones would beat Daniel Cormier up worse in heavyweight. And this is what Daniel Cormier had to say. I'm retired. I'm done. I'm 46. I'm washed up. How about this novel idea? How about fight the dude that is actually waiting to fight you, which is Tom Aspinall? You know, I think this perfectly sums up what everyone in the MMA space is feeling right now. Like DC, you gotta understand, even though he hates Jon Jones, he is one of the uh he is like a shield for the company. And the UFC want this the fans to believe that Jon Jones is not ducking Tom Aspinall. And for him to come out and say this, however, it just shows how ridiculous the situation is, especially from Jon Jones' side, due to the lack of transparency as to whether he's gonna fight or not. and the fact that he's coming up with all these bullshit reasons and all these bullshit facts about how he'll destroy anybody at heavyweight except for the guy he's supposed to fight in Tom Aspinall. So this is my final note before ending this video. Uh, Dana White strip Jon Jones, and I'm not talking about that kind of strip. All right, with your fucking dirty little bald head of yours, Dana White. I'm talking about get rid of the heavyweight belt from Jon Jones's fucking grasp because he should not be considered the lineal heavyweight champion. At this point, there's no reason for Jon Jones to really fight if he's not gonna fight Tom Aspinall, and he's kind of made it clear that he's not gonna fight Tom Aspinall. And I won't blame him, you know? Tom Aspinall, he's bigger, he's younger, he's faster, he's stronger, he's got better hands than Jon Jones. I wouldn't blame Jon Jones either, but we can't be holding up the heavyweight division like this. Tom Aspinall deserves to fight for the heavyweight belt. At this point, it's ridiculous that the UFC is still trying to scramble up uh, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall when Jon Jones has made it clear that he's not going to fight. All right, that's where I'm gonna end this video today. Leave a comment down below what you think about this whole shenanigans with Jon Jones in Thailand, and also leave a comment down below if you agree with my general sentiment about this situation. But other than that, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.